Hey YouTube, welcome to Real Ish, where we review the most highly anticipated blockbusters of the year. Let's start holding these movies accountable, right? Today we're going to talk about The Jungle Book. The Jungle Book follows this trend that's been going on lately where Disney wants to remake all these classic Disney movies like Maleficent, Snow White, and The Huntsman. We had the Alice in Wonderland with Johnny Depp. And when you think about a movie that has to be remade, you don't really think of The Jungle Book as like a movie that has like a big following. You would think of maybe like Aladdin or The Lion King even that has like a big following that they would want to remake. But The Jungle Book is an interesting choice because they've actually remade this movie about at least 5 times. It's been remade. There's even one with the kid who played Johnny Tsunami on the Disney Channel original movie. He played Mowgli. It was called The Mowgli Story. But this movie is directed by Jon Favreau. It has an all-star cast including Scarlett Johansson as Kaa, Bill Murray, Ben Kingsley. It has Lupita Nyong'o, Idris Elba. Pretty much he pulled out all the stops with this movie. Well, at least Disney did. They got Jon Favreau, who directed Iron Man. He also is known for Elf. Seems like a really fun guy. A lot of people in the interviews say that he's just really cool, relaxed kind of guy. So this story follows Mowgli, a kid who's been raised in the jungle by a wolf pack. Follows Mowgli. There comes a point where Mowgli has to leave the jungle or die. Uh, Idris Elba plays this tiger who's kind of reminiscent of Scar. So Mowgli has to get out of the jungle, and along the way he meets all these characters that, like I said, are played by these senior actors that just do a great job with making the movie flow through. Like every scene is exciting, every scene is interesting. The visual effects in this movie are awesome. They actually got one of the guys that helped James Cameron with his technology and Avatar to work on this movie. He's the visual effects supervisor, and they came up with this new technology where pretty much the whole world is CGI, but they can still move the camera as if they were moving in a real setting. So that's what really gives the movie its crispness, its visualness. The cinematography is awesome. The whole movie is CGI. This little kid was awesome for acting the way he did. He had to use his imagination the whole making thing. They did bring in some puppeteers. Jim Henson, like I said, they pulled out all the stops with this movie. They brought some puppeteers in to act along with him, but for the most part, he has to imagine it all on his own, and he did a good job. He's not the most technical actor, but there's a fire about him that just brings the character to life. Really makes you want to root for him. You could tell that Jon Favreau not only is a fun guy, but he loves movies. There's so many movie references. Jon Favreau said it himself. He really looked at movies like Lion King to give him inspiration, and you could tell that he's paying homage to them. It never feels like he's copying them or he's ripping them off or anything like that. It just feels like a straight up homage, and really nicely done. Every actor, for as little as their part may be, they bring such an excitement to each scene. Scarlett Johansson's scene is really short. I wish she could have been in it a lot more. Just her voice is really nice, but her shortest scene, but it's really memorable. And she even does a song for the movie. Christopher Walken does a song. Bill Murray does a song, and she does a song actually with Mark Ronson. He worked with Amy Winehouse. He did the Uptown Funk song with Bruno Mars. So they, like I said, they brought out all the stops for this movie. Bad things about this movie. The only thing I can really say that is bad is the movie doesn't just rely on CGI. It's completely CGI. Like I said, Mowgli is the only thing that's actually real in this movie. Everything else is CGI. There are some parts that are so good looking that make you think like, is this CGI? Is this half CGI? Is this real? But no, it's all CGI. And it does look pretty awesome. It might distract some people. The only other thing I can think of being a flaw is the music is really good. They got this guy that's been working on several Disney movies. I think this is his 13th Disney movie. He did the music for Hocus Pocus, Princess Diaries, and I just feel like they could have really benefited from using someone like John Williams, who does the music, of course, for Star Wars and Harry Potter. Maybe even like Hans Zimmer, who did the music for The Lion King and the Dark Knight Rises movies, and Pirates of the Caribbean, and even the Justice League movie, the the new Batman versus Superman movies. So I feel like they could have really benefited from bringing someone like that, not just that was just average, but like someone that's known to just bring really memorable music. He's just not technically that because he's still a kid after all, but he just looks like he's having a lot of fun. Like I said, he mentioned that Jon Favreau was a lot of fun, and I'm sure he was. I'm sure seeing all the puppets and all the filmmakers there was a lot of fun. Interesting that this is, like I said, another movie that's been remade recently. One that's not going to be the last one for sure. Jon Favreau did an interview recently where he was talking about why this is going on lately. And what he pretty much said was that there's two types of movies nowadays. There's a lower budget movie that hits it big, something like Straight Outta Compton or My Big Fat Greek Wedding kind of. Or nowadays there's those movies that are just straight up big budget, over $100 million. And they don't want to just risk it with any kind of new story nowadays. So that's why they feel like they have to remake these movies, I guess. They've invested already so much in these characters. You see them all over Disneyland, and why wouldn't they want to just invest more into them? This movie is for the kids. Kids are going to love it. I hope it inspires kids to go out and play and create stuff, because Mowgli is so adventurous in this movie. It makes you feel proud to be a human being. It makes you want to use your brain and go out and explore and be adventurous. Of course they announced a sequel. I mean, this movie's going to do good. It's already gotten really good reviews all over. And it is good. It's honestly good. So I would have to give it an 8.5 reels. Like I said, the only thing that I could think that would be a problem for some people would be the effects might be a little too heavy, or the acting from the kid might be a little distracting sometimes. But like I said, the fire in him is there. So YouTube, what did you think? Have you seen this movie? Did you like it? Do you think that this is one of the better remakes? Do you think that they should stop remaking these cartoon movies already? Write some comments, subscribe. Go watch this movie. Trust in me.